Hello, beautiful beings, love and laughter. This video is especially for energy sensitives and empaths. Energy is our highest currency. And so when we are out having our experiences in the world, paying attention to how our currency is being spent is number one. Tanya Rainbow Horse here. And we're going to talk about how we can manage our energy, our currency in a better way that's not draining us, that's, putting our energy at the forefront of the priority of ourselves. Because when we have spent our wheels, exhausted ourselves, we're broke energetically. And so we're not able to, move forward and do what we want in our highest frequency when we're in that spot. So really, I think the main theme here is when a situation is starting to drag your vibe down, or it feels like you can't get a grip on getting into the vibration of what's going on around you. Somebody's arguing, there's a lot of fear, somebody's frustrated, angry. I would just get out of that situation at all costs. That's what I'm really learning for myself. I've been a person who would allow myself to just sit there, spin my wheels, drain myself by arguing and fighting and being in that energy and trying to manipulate it and change it. And I'm finding that I'm done with that. I don't want to do that. My energy is worth more. My vibration is worth more. And so I'm starting to find that when situations get tense and I feel like there's no way of resolving it at that moment with a way that won't be draining on me or the other person, I remove myself. I remove myself straight out of it. I go where I can be with myself and kind of examine what I was experiencing. I'm like, okay, this person, I had tension, that's okay, that's natural, but keeping the highest vibrational frequency of my energy at all times is number one. That person's beautiful, they're great, I'm not quite sure what is going on really, but it's okay. And I'll kind of just sit there and I'll get myself back into my own energy. I feel like this will probably be an easier task when we train ourselves to stay in our own energy more. But sometimes when we live with people, our children, our family members, or our spouses, those are probably the people that it's more likely for you to get into situations with them where you're spinning your wheels. You're arguing, you're angry, you're frustrated, you're irritated, and then before you know it, you're like, oh, dang it. I let myself get sucked into that instead of just be like, okay, I gotta go get the laundry and kind of duck out for a minute and give yourself some space. I'm finding that space is a mood saver. Even if it's just 5 minutes to go to the bathroom or go do the laundry or go lay in the dark, whatever it is, it makes all the difference. It allows us to get back in our own energy. It allows us to ground back into our bodies. It allows us to disconnect from the pull of whatever was going on. We're able to recalibrate ourselves, connect back into our own mind and be like, oh, I noticed this is where this started getting off for me. This is where I started letting my energy be leaked. And next time I'm just going to remove myself before, anything gets out of hand. I think that's really key. And it's a practice I'm playing with. I just did it today. My child and I were going to do an activity, and whenever we do homework together, oftentimes that can be a trigger for her. And so it was today, And she sat down and started to do it, and I needed to get comfortable, and something wasn't the way it was supposed to be, and she got irritated and I was irritated, and then I was like, it's okay, we're here, but I don't have to sit here in this. And so I picked up my stuff and I left. And I gave myself the space, and I was very happy that I did that, because I stopped myself getting into a place that could have been really frustrating, really angry. Like, I noticed it right away. Like, within probably the first minute or two of us getting in tension, I removed myself. And then when I was by myself, I was like, oh, wow, good job, Tanya. I'm so proud of you. You got yourself out of there. You prevented further frustration for both of us, further suffering for both of you. You both would have been spinning your wheels, your energy, your vibrations would have been low. You would have been feeding off each other, and just, creating a frustrating experience for the both of us. And so by cutting it off and leaving, I helped dissipate that pretty darn fast. She started, livening up, and she did her homework with her dad. And I came back down a little bit later, and peace prevailed. So the power of cutting off those energy situations before they get out of hand is a magical little tool and trick. And sometimes it's harder to do than you think. Especially if you are a person who is prone to argue or get triggered to be in control mode when frustrating situations start unfolding. So it's a practice, it's just spaciousness in general with so many different things is helpful to reformulate, to reevaluate, and to connect back into where you were before. You don't open up a can of worms. Excuse me, I'm still working through my sick stuff. But it just will save you from draining your energy, getting into a bad mood, dragging somebody else into that bad mood, or getting dragged into somebody else's bad mood. Give you a chance to sink back into your own energy and your own body, and reevaluate what was going on, where it could have gone, but it didn't. I know in a lot of parent books that you read, and sometimes with kids that do tantrums a lot, they say to catch it early before it gets into a full-blown tantrum is really key. And I'm finding that is also key just in general for people. When you can catch a frustrating, irritating, angry situation before it goes down the road of explosive energy, you both are able to take that energy back and put it back into your own energy field, into creating something different, into not spinning your wheels, into not draining your energy in frustration, fear, anger. And that's just practicing good emotional intelligence. Catching yourself before you start walking down the path of anger and frustration. You train yourself to bring yourself back. You stop yourself, you pull yourself out. You're doing the emotional cleaning and tending to your emotional needs when they start getting low. If you're in a spot where you're starting to get frustrated, the energy is telling you you're done. You need to relax. You need to sit. Maybe you need to go do something for yourself. Maybe you haven't been self-caring for yourself. I noticed that's something that happens to me is when I've been avoiding self-care or just not thinking about doing it, I will start getting irritated or annoyed super easy. And then I'm like, what's going on? Oh, in the back of my head, it's like, I had this thought to drink this tea or go take this break or go read, and I didn't do it. And that was a self-care thing. And so now I'm getting frustrated and irritated because I needed some self-care and I didn't give myself it. So treat energy like it's your number one currency, because it really is. Your presence of your energy and where you focus it and where you put it each and every moment is your money, you know? Makes your vibe, makes your experience, makes how you feel, makes how other people feel, makes what's going on with you right now. If you're being in your higher self, enjoy it, or if you're being in some of the lower vibrational frequencies of fear and anger and irritation, guilt, shame, you know. So catch it before it happens. Has this ever happened to you? Have you ever experienced, you know, your energy getting low because you're feeding into some negativity, and then you catch yourself and you're like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and remove myself now and see how that is. And then it ends up being a better situation and you didn't spend all your energetic money on something that wasn't really where you wanted to put it. So this is where I open up and invite you to put a comment or a question about the topic or anything really. If you liked the video, I'd love it if you liked it, shared it. If you like the channel, subscribe. And till the next video, love and laughter, Tanya Rainbow Horse here. Thank you so much for showing up.